Is your crested gecko a picky eater? Will he not touch bugs? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to deal with those geckos. So the number one question I get from new gecko keepers is, why isn't my gecko eating? Well, most gecko species, especially the ones we deal with like the crested and the gargle geckos, are nocturnal species. So they're going to be active in the nighttime. Now, when you feed them the diets, they're not going to eat right away in front of your face when you put it in the enclosure like a dog or a cat would. These geckos are gonna come out in the nighttime when you're asleep and eat the diet. Now, geckos eat very, very small amounts of food, especially if you think about how small a baby gecko is. Think about the size of the stomach on that baby gecko, and you're serving a bowl of food this big. You're not gonna see any indentations in the food and you're gonna think it's not eating. But I assure you, a healthy gecko will eat on its own, and there's no reason to hand feed this gecko. You know, you've tried a bunch of different things and you don't know, giving it a couple drops of food and you're still not sure if it's eating, or you don't think it's eating as much as it should. What you could do is you could try different flavors. Some of the best flavors that we use for the Pangea diet is going to be the watermelon formula, and this formula is really good as well. This is the papaya, but every gecko is different, you know? Every single gecko will eat all the different flavors. Trust me, we have a billion geckos and we don't cater to each individual gecko's taste here. We can't afford to. So we feed them a variety of different flavors and we rotate the flavors here. You know, you have one gecko at home, you could find out which flavor he likes the best and then just feed that flavor. Now with the Ripashi, a flavor that my geckos love is going to be this Pineapple Express. This is a seasonal flavor, so it doesn't come in as often, but one that my geckos do like, and personally this is my favorite gecko diet. This is the Crested Gecko Mango Super Blend from Ripashi. Nutritionally speaking, I think is well balanced and most diverse, and this is what I tend to feed my geckos the most. Basically, you want to make sure you try out different flavors and stick to what your gecko likes the best. Now, occasionally you will get certain geckos that do not want to eat insects, so this is a trick that I use to get geckos that don't like insects to start eating insects. Unfortunately, this little cricket, we're gonna have to rip its head off. And you see that juice right there? That juice, for whatever reason, triggers a feeding response with a lot of animals, with a lot of geckos. So we're gonna feed it off to this gecko here. Now, sometimes if you freak a gecko out like this, it won't eat because he's worried about what I'm gonna do and he's just trying to run away. But sometimes, you see that? There you go. So that is like the best trick that you could do to get your gecko that doesn't like insects to start eating crickets. Now, you could do this with any insect, roaches, crickets, worms, whatever, but sometimes they won't take to it right away. So if they don't take to it right away, you could try again later. And what I like to keep in mind when I'm doing this, sometimes after they take an insect like that, they won't even need me to rip the cricket's head off. They'll just take it right off the tongs. Now remember guys, every gecko is different. Some geckos have a bigger appetite than others. But if you do want to know 5 tips on how to grow your gecko bigger, make sure you check out this video right here. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.